What's up? Hey man, I'm about to get this show started. I'm getting calls coming left and right, so my bad, bro. Hold on one second. Messing up the J song. Messing up the J song.
What up, brother?
What's up, man? Hey, I'm streaming. I'm live. You good?
Well, I've been seeing you all over social media now.
Man, I'm just trying to do my part to make the world a better place, man.
Love it.
But I'm live on here. Shoot. Shoot, you need something? You good?
Nah, man, I was really all right. I was just trying to find out, like, that contractor that you had that you said was pretty good. I lost his phone number. I wonder if you can send it to me.
All right. Let me send him to you. I'll send him to you.
All right, appreciate it, man.
All right. We back on it. Let's go. Yo, we gonna talk about this, John, right? Come on now, Anton. Ugh. Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Ain't no love in the heart. Yeah. Shit. And I'm not even a Jay-Z fan. Doggone. Yo, I was gonna say this for probably the second one lineup, but this is probably this is gonna be the first because this thing is this bull Anton Daniels. Oh my
You ain't gonna
god.
let the internet.
This. See, when I tell y'all, man, that streamers is different. This is a different thing. I realized it when I started doing it, man. This has less to do with like how funny you are, your name, and all that stuff. Very few people can actually make the change from being a streamer. I mean, from being like a star in these movies to like being a streamer. They can do some podcasts or they can do some clips, but it is different. It's different, bro. It's different. I'm telling you, it's different. It's not the same thing. It's not the same. And it's what's worse. Come on, I'm gonna bring this joint down. What's worse? Yeah, let me tell you this out. Like, man, I had to like play that joint. That joint was. I was sitting back and I saw Anton Daniels' new one of his posts like recently. It had to be within the last 9 hours. So what? This is Friday. It's 12:30. He probably did this 9 hours ago or something like that. But man, I he made me understand deeper and deeper that this streaming thing is different than like the Corey Holcombs or the Dave Chappelles or any of these guys that are traditionally funny when you put them on stage and they will sell out a concert for people to come and watch them. Well, not everybody, not everybody, but when you just know who you are, Nobody's getting on here trying to be a celebrity. Like, dude, I'm a real estate agent, broker, investor, father of four, husband, husband. I got a wife. I'm not a wife. I got a husband. You know what I'm saying? I'm a husband. I'm a regular dude. I'm just here to tell to you, like, I didn't sold a shitload of real estate over the last 18, 20 years. I kind of garner a little bit of response, and I ain't selling you shit. If anything, you go to my Patreon before you log in. I'm giving you free stuff because I realized that this game is janky, and I was in this janky game trying to figure it out for a while. Agent, investor, trying to find some way to make some money. I won't be able to get you into it. Brother, probably can fit you in the. Okay, cool. It's my barber, man. I need to get my cut done, bro. Yeah, can you do it? I need to get my cut done. I need to get that cut done, bro. I need to get that cut done. Yeah, man, I got the best barber in the world, bro. Like my barber, my barber is fly. Like when he cut my hair, it be fly. Yo, bro. You
What's up with you, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, my bad. I'm streaming. Can you get me in tomorrow, you think? You think you can get me in tomorrow? It's already on the books too.
Yeah, I should be able to fit you in tomorrow. I'll hit you back with the time.
All right.
As soon as I get free time, I'm on the client right now.
Perfect.
I got you. I'll text you.
Appreciate it, bro. All right.
Anytime.
I got the best barber. I told you, bro. I got the best barber. Hell, and he run the Barner Brothers twice, 3 times. Yes, bro. I know what I'm talking about. Some of those other clowns left. I'm not gonna find another barber. They still can't find a good barber. But man, not too far off. So this Corey Holcomb, Anton Daniels spat. I normally don't talk about this. It took me a minute to get started because I was trying to plug up the next computer so I can go ahead and keep tracking anybody with the super chats. Matter of fact, if you're watching, like, subscribe, follow. I appreciate you being here, showing up. God love you. Peace. Peace, man. Don't let nobody lie to you. Don't let nobody lie to you. It's still money out here to be made, you know. Just plug into the Father. He tell you where to go. But yo, okay, so if you don't know, Anton Daniels is a streamer, podcaster. Well, it's not podcaster. Yeah, he does some podcasting, but he's a streamer out of Detroit. He's the largest Detroit streamer out there. He's the largest streamer in Detroit. So I think he's got like 1.5 million subscribers, something like that. And I've listened to Anton, and you know, at the beginning I didn't quite like Anton. But Anton started saying some things that really, really, when my ears really opened up, I said, dude, this dude is dropping jewels. And I understand how it is to be different when people just look at you or you just flow, you just different. You're just different. Simply because you're around these niggas and they don't think the way that you think, they're different. So Anton, big Atlanta, what was it? Detroit podcaster. Anton goes over to Cali. He's always traveling different places, popping up in different cities. Anton goes over to Cali. He has to sit down with Corey Holcomb. Corey's group, of course, puts Anton on their platform. I think I've heard Corey Holcomb's platform before. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is so crazy. That 51, 54 platform. I'm going to tell you why this is so crazy, right? Corey should have just handled himself with a little bit better control, but I get it why, because he's a Negro, and Negroes who are more rough and all they got to do, they just always, and that transfers over to their works because they got to be like that. They got to be like that to be funny. They really aren't smart intellectuals. Like, they really don't hold common sense conversations. And people, y'all gonna dislike what I gotta say, but think of it. You got Corey Holcomb. He was in a Black Jesus, Nick Cannon, Shaquille O'Neal's, the Wedding Ringer, Jamie Foxx. He's been on Jamie Foxx's, the Watermelon series, Buck Breaking. Oh my God, he's got a bunch of stuff that Corey's been on. He invites this guy Anton down to on a 5154, and I know because Anton's got a good subscription. Anton gets on there, and if you didn't see the video, go check out my live stream. I already chopped it up. It already should have chopped up pieces from there. He starts fighting with Anton. Starts fighting with Anton, and I felt the same way. I'm like, bro, you invite me on a platform, you gonna jump me? You gonna try to get me like that on a platform? You trying to play me? You figure since I get on your platform, you gonna sucker me and punk me out. When if you're just how you are, if somebody was to do that to you in real life, you get up and you walk away. You're like, or you're like, all right, whatever, bro. But we're here on your platform and we're talking, and you engage in that same shit. Like you engage in the same you brought me on here because I'm a black Republican, because I'm black and conservative, and you engage in it. You think conservative means soft, or you think conservative. I don't get the perspective of what these people think conservative really means. I honestly, I don't know. I don't really figure it out. But he's a conservative podcaster, but he ain't lame. He just be chilling, living his life. He just like this, just like I stopped the day to do this show for about an hour, hour and a half. Same thing. I'm about to go back, finish working on some real estate deals. Same thing. He got a life. He got a life. He just got big doing this. That's it. Big doing it. So you bring him on the show, you figure, I guess his points of views, which are very polarizing. That's it. He is controversial. That's it. But you bring him on there, you think you're going to punk him out. So after he gets on there, you don't punk him out. He said, let's go to the back and let's do this in the back. Outside, you don't go out and you don't do anything. You just sit back down. And why even take things to that level, to that extreme? And that tells you the level of your intellectual prowess, your ability to engage other people in conversations. Now, granted, even when I know I talk fast. I speak fast. It's just the up north portion of me that's still there. And I do that in business. I'm always moving like fast. But don't get it twisted. When we talk about things based on books we've read, documentaries we've reviewed, and our shared life experiences and interactions. I'm just going to tell you what my life experience is as a black guy building a real estate company, being a real estate investor, having to deal with Negroes and white people, on different pieces. And it's showing you that it's not this color thing. There's a deeper ideology that goes down deeper. But I get up and I'm listening to Anton. Anton, of course, when you start with him, he likes controversy. So what first thing Anton says is what?
You, Corey? Jesus Christ, bro. I'm going to make $1 million off of you, bro. I'm going to make $1 million off of Corey alone because I know the money game. Corey broke. A lot of people don't even really know that. Corey's struggling. Corey's struggling like a motherfucker. He had already alienated his friends. He don't really have no motion on his own. And so a lot of what he got to do, he got to hit the road. I could stay at home and be calm and cool and collected. Corey got to hit the road. Listen, man, these niggas is tapped. These niggas is tapped. These niggas is tapped.
When I listen to some people, some of you guys listen to some of these podcasts. Not all podcasters or streamers, not all Facebook YouTubers are really the same. Of course, they're all different. Corey's coming from Hollywood because he out there in Cali. Not just because he out there in Cali, but he's been in the Hollywood, scene, that Hollywood stuff. Like, he's got to work harder because he hasn't really embraced this new economy. He hasn't really embraced it. He's not a Shannon Sharp. He just got to work hard. He got to put in more and more work. And this YouTube thing's been going pretty good, I think, for him, somewhat. But still, when you don't have certain creativity, when you don't have certain ability to take what you do on YouTube or take what you do in real life and bring it to YouTube, or YouTube to real life, or people just don't follow you, like you're really not that real interesting outside of you taking the time to chase, was it Kendra? Or was it Tasha K? Was it not Kendra K? He's on that girl's behind, like clowning her. And honestly, she do got more money than Corey. She probably do.
Anyways, y'all said Anton stop talking shit. Well, that's what he was doing when I walked out. He was still talking. Nigga took me off the thumbnail, untagged me on Instagram like a scorned girlfriend. That's what he doing. He was talking big shit. He only had one nigga with him. What in that nigga did that?
Celebrity don't mean that. I'm telling you guys, celebrity don't mean nothing. This age of people being these celebrities, and they got these celebrity mindsets, and they think they big, or they think they should be. They have some level of stardom. Oh, bro, all that shit is going away, bro. All that shit is starting to go away little by little. The playing field is being even. The playing field is being even. YouTube is doing it. TikTok is doing it. The film companies are leaving, and you got to figure a way to eat, Corey.
I mean, you should have bust a move in, nigga. If I only had one person with me, because y'all got to remember, see, what y'all don't know is that he had a room full of people. He had a room full of people, and I still stood tall, 10 toes, right in front of me in his backyard. I'm not really sure what y'all looked at. He had home court advantage. He had a bunch of people in there. And I had a girl and one person for security. That's it. And here's the other part of it that y'all don't know, because a lot of people like to say, oh, he had armed security. His people were strapped. His people was strapped. He had a security guard over there with the face mask on, all black with the mask, and they had the pistol. And his people was strapped over there too. I ain't gonna name the other person.
So Corey initiated this. If you go and look at the video, Corey turned around and he decided to get up. He decided to walk over, sit down to where Anton was in front of him, and get in his face and tell him, I don't. And I, I'm cutting these things into clips. I'm trying to stay away from from this language, dude. But he said, I don't SD. And Anton is like, hold on. Corey takes a figurative thing and he makes it literal. Even though he gave Anton a figurative reason, he spoke figuratively to Anton. When you sit back and you watch this, dude, it's funny. You know what? The reason why I'm actually talking about this, and you say, man, y'all a bunch of grown men, y'all talking about this, and two grown men talking. Real talk. It's not the grown man situation. I agree. It's like two grown men. You're like, man, why can't you grown men just, and then you're black men? No. This is past grown and black. This goes deeper into ideology, and it goes deeper into, in my opinion, on some economic levels, when you compare, and you're realizing now that a guy who has been in network TVs, movies, made his name in Hollywood, invites a podcaster, YouTuber to his platform, then gets in his face when the YouTuber doesn't agree with what he has to say, or his emotional tense comes out. Now, this YouTuber is only going to do one or two things. Going to do what he's been doing ever since he's been doing YouTube, which is to take situations like this and capitalize off of it. Meaning your friends, Corey, will know that you kind of are a loser, right? In various ways, because you don't even have the ability to control yourself. They saw you already lash out. Now, if they didn't see that, if whoever you started in that last movie, didn't see that for Corey, they will definitely see it now. Now, who do you think will walk away from that situation with the bag? Corey could walk away with a bag, but Corey, you see he's stuck in his ways. That's why I realize with this YouTube game, with the way that these things are, the average person like you and me can change the course of our lives because we're real people. I'm talking to you about a real dude who just built a subscription, a following on YouTube, gets invited down to a star's platform, and leaves right now owning him.
They were strapped. So y'all keep trying to make it seem like, oh man, Anton had security. I had one dude because I had one chick with me and his people were strapped and he was right there. So if we gonna have a conversation, if we gonna really, really get to it, there was no excuse. There's no reason and no excuse. No, I'm not saying it's supposed to be a shootout. What I'm saying is people are trying to make it seem like because I had security there with me, that changed the dynamics of how we interacted or my motion towards him. No, I was exactly the way that I was with him because that's the way that I felt about him. This don't have nothing to do with that. Nobody is talking about acting tough or none of that. But people keep trying to paint this narrative like that changed something because I was trying to move over or trying to do something. Nigga, no, it was all the same. Nothing changed. It was still the same. And so stop making excuses for this big ass nigga. Stop making excuses for his big ass nigga. And I heard you, Craig. Shout out to the B side. I heard your reaction to the whole thing, that you parked there, you jumped the fence, and all of this other shit, right? I heard about all of that shit. And then I also heard your friends, like, because I you know what I listen to? I listen to everybody. So I was listening to Glasses Malone podcast, right? A lot of people don't know Glasses Malone. Glasses Malone, former rapper, dude out there in LA. Shout out to Glasses Malone. I actually like his platform and his podcast. And I was listening to Glasses Malone, but first I listened to Craig.
A lot of these guys got platforms and podcasts, and nobody cares about what they're really boring outside of that one hit that they probably did, or their time in the business with that run. Now trying to convert over to doing streaming and to really interact with people, you start seeing how true people really are, you know, how they really are. A lot of these podcasts, I realize they're failing. A lot of them are going under. People don't watch them. They really just boring. So you got to recognize when you see some good ones, man.
Reaction. And then I listened to Glasses Malone. And what I realized is that the only reason that Craig had the energy that he had is because he had people in the group chat that was putting the battery in his back to go over there and defend his boss. Craig, his people. There we go.
No other, nothing else. Dive over Darlene, fight, punch you, pack you out. Okay, so as I'm watching it, I'm texting the homie Craig, and I'm like, Craig, tell him, punch him right now. I'm texting the whole time, punch him now. Every time, hey, punch him right now. Craig, like, gee, I'm not there. No, text Corey, punch him now.
So Craig is.
So he trying to tell Corey to punch him, to punch Anton. This is weird. See, that's the ratchet. That to me, that's the low level thinking you be dealing with when you listen to some of these guys. This is the low level, low vibration thinking. We came to have a conversation. Homeboy watching on the side, edging you, or telling somebody to tell you to punch Anton. You just want to lead your dude into catching a case because guarantee Anton will sue the off of him. He'll sue him. He gonna get the bread either one or two ways. You're gonna be embarrassed because you show up and you talking insane, stupid talk, rhetoric, or you're gonna lash out because you triggered and you trolled, and you're gonna make a mistake like Renee Good and find yourself not experiencing what she experienced. Oh no, that's that's deep. But you will definitely catch a case and lose some money.
Oh no.
So I sit back and I watch it. Crazy.
Is the little homie. I don't know how old he is, but he's clearly a grown man. He's clearly a grown man. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. They taking orders from everybody else in the background, telling them what to do. You got to get orders in a group chat in order to move the way that you're moving? Listen, bro, I've lost respect for the whole 5150 platform across the board. I've lost complete respect for the whole 5150 platform across the board. Taking orders to pretend to defend your boss that can't defend himself. I've lost complete respect for the 5150 platform altogether. Altogether. I have no respect for these niggas at all. The only reason that Craig is doing what he doing is because his big homies in the background is putting a battery in his back on what they telling him to do in order to defend his boss that can't defend himself. This is why we're broken as a culture. This is why we're broken as a culture. Absolutely, bro. I went out there with my white shirt, collared, AD on the logo.
And I would definitely say he's very, very professional. Very professional.
And I was very comfortable. And I mean very, 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 very comfortable. Very comfortable. And all of these bandwagoners and people that got batteries in their back and stuff like that, I'm so disappointed. Craig was talking like he was actually doing something himself. You know what Craig said? Craig said he was listening on his own and he had a show and he was doing it based off of it. But what we finding out is that Craig had people putting batteries in his back, just like Corey was acting like he needed a battery in his back to do whatever it is that they was going to do. What is that? So y'all can't stand on your own. Y'all not even your own man.
And this is something, I did a video on this on my other channel before, because this is what I mean by being able to be a dude that doesn't need to have other guys around you, where you don't have to have a bunch of guys around you to validate who you are, how you move. We move the same way. I move the same way that I would solo as I do if I was with dudes. Because one thing I learned, I think I learned this in martial arts. I learned this in Philadelphia. Sometimes growing up, man, you can't count on your friends or people that you know to actually be around when things popped off. And that's always been that true. So whether it was a tense situation or more of a soft situation or just you move the same, you don't need them to actually validate you, nor do you need them to actually gas you up. If anything, the last thing I want to hear is from the dudes that's around me. I'd rather hear from God telling me how to move, how to handle that situation at that point in time. Not the emotions which you get from a lot of dudes to respond back in ways that, honestly, if they tell you to do stuff they wouldn't have never done themselves. They got the balls for you to do it, but they don't have the balls to do it themselves. And so that's kind of what you see right there. That is a disappointing part of the black culture. That's a disappointing part of the culture, I say, as a whole. To be able to, you got to have somebody to push you forward, to move you forward, to kind of like rile you up. These little things show you what people are like, you know?
Y'all not even your own man. You actually needed everybody needs somebody else to get them to. So who the boss? Because Corey obviously ain't the boss. Craig ain't the boss. Maybe Glasses is the boss.
What's up, Stacy? How you doing? Yeah, you're right. Everybody in the generation in love. They love to show how much they love and hate Pride. Show off too much. Yeah, yeah. We're coming out of this season, man. All of that showing off and popping off stuff. Go ahead, continue. Continue thinking that that's the way you're gonna be doing it, and you
I'm
can
asking
definitely
who
tell.
the boss is. Who's the boss over there? What's the tiers? Because I'm not familiar with LA street life, and so I'm genuinely asking a question of where the tiers are. Who's who, and what is the hierarchy? Because
That's Anton taking it too far, man. LA street life. Come on, man. Corey ain't involved in no LA street life.
you got these
He
40,
trolling them.
50, and 60-year-old men that are arguing with each other about who should do what to a young software engineer, beautiful face, gorgeous, with a bag chaser hat on that came in with a collared shirt. Who is the boss? Who I gotta call? Kendra?
Stop the cat. Stop the cat. They both the same. They around the same age. Stop the cat. But that I do get what he's feeling like that. I've seen that with dudes, man. When they plot, when guys plot a little bit different than women do. But they quick to not. It's very hard for some men to control themselves and actually listen and be in the moment to understand exactly what's going on. The response between the response of just doing it and not even absorbing in to have just a minute apiece to say, hey, no, we're not going to do that. That's the thing I found that makes some men be less formidable than others. Be less formidable than others. And because you can't move on emotion. Men don't move on emotion. So when we talk about stuff like this, you get a chance to see that is true. You get a lot of men that move on emotion. They're just emotionally driven men. Maybe they were raised by mothers. They never had things that challenged them or held them accountable. I mean, I had to get certain things from the military. I had to get certain things from martial arts to kind of raise and mold me. And you get to see that some men, either they went through those things and they didn't embrace them, or they had some challenges and they just couldn't quite bring themselves to kind of embrace the change that they were going through. And so they stay stuck. And so they do these different things like respond on emotion.
Game, Dr. Dre, who's the boss in LA? Gavin Newsom? Oh, who's in charge? Who's in charge? It got to be, it's like the Wizard of Oz. I actually seen the Wizard of Oz in Vegas. And it was like this mythical white man. And it was this, oh my God. It's the Wizard of Oz at 5150. 5150 is the Wizard of Oz. Have y'all ever seen the original Wizard of Oz? Not the Wiz with Michael Jackson, but the Wizard of Oz, the original one. And if you actually watch it and you go behind the scenes after they go down the yellow brick road, because Corey is the Tin Man. I don't have any heart. I don't have any. Actually, Corey is the Cowardly Lion. Corey is the Cowardly Lion. Oh, I need some courage. I don't have any courage. And so they may roar, but it's not really anything. And so we like, I'm Dorothy. All right, I'm Dorothy. I'm just skipping down the yellow brick road, trying to get back to Detroit, flying out to LA.
Anton too much, bro. He just extra on this. See, this is the problem. When you get people like that respond, like Corey Holcomb, to like YouTubers that they bring to their platform, it's going to upset the way that their fans and that the public sees them. Because it's okay to talk to people and have them mesmerized by your star power and your but when you clearly see that this guy's been talking for a long period of time, speaking, and his subscription base pretty much stays the same, pretty much, doesn't grow. And then you get somebody like him who's been grinding and doing this for 10 years. Corey Holcomb has been around for a long time. He's been around longer than 10 years. How you let this dude trigger you to get up out of your seat and act less than a black male in front of the public, in front of your fan and your audience? Days and times are changing, man. The people that you keep worshiping, I tell people this. Listen to this closely. You worship these people that are stars because for some way somehow you see the Beyonce, you see the Rihanna, you see these guys just having something special that you don't have, and you fail to recognize that they're elevated and special because the world has said that this is special, but God didn't never say that that's the highest gift to be held among men and all this other stuff. None of that stuff is true. Your gifts and your talents are as phenomenal as a Beyonce or Jay-Z. It's, if you know what goes on in the background to make those people who they are, the marketing, the dollars that are spent, the ads that are purchased, the placement on radios that's been purchased, placement on TV that's been purchased. When I started understanding marketing on the back end and how powerful it was, and nobody spoke that or showed that to me in real estate when I first got started, I had to go through years, and then I'm like, what's this thing about marketing? And then I started to see how marketing shapes the minds of people and how it shapes the minds of the everyday people, on and on and on. How you didn't like that person as a star, all of a sudden you like them. All of a sudden you hooked on that song. It's because they marketed to you, and then they told you that the jester at the court is the most prolific way. The jester at the court. You got to respect the jester at the court. You got to respect the jester at the court. Hey.
Corey is the, oh my God, cowardly lion. I don't know if I should make Craig the scarecrow or the Tin Man, because he got to have somebody put a battery in his back. He got to be told what to do. So maybe he should be the scarecrow because he ain't got no brains. He can't think for himself. He sounds like he actually knows what he's talking about, but I'm not really sure that that's what it is. No brains whatsoever.
This guy's going to show you how he's going to make a bag off of this whole situation.
At all. And then when you look behind the curtain and you pull it back, because you actually, this is why I did it in person. You pull it back and you ask behind the curtain and you say, oh man, this is the Wizard of Oz out here. These niggas pretending. Who is the person in power? Gotta be a woman. We gonna go ahead with the Wicked Witch of the East or the Wicked Witch of the West. I don't really know, bro. I don't really know. I don't really know, but these is a bunch of grown ass niggas. No wonder the young bulls, no wonder the young boys ain't got nothing to look up to.
Yeah.
No wonder everybody is going to prison. No wonder everybody is going to jail. No wonder we not more educated. No wonder we have a less than 20% voter turnout rate, and they don't believe that you should participate in the local elections.
Because these are the people that they made to be our stars, our influencers. These are the people we're supposed to follow. These are the people that impress our kids because they're in the movies and they're fed the narrative that, oh, they're in the movies, they must be great. They must be intelligent. They must be smart. They must know what they're talking about. They must have some level of moral standard. See, somebody said that they're famous. God must bless them. They must have something. All these are all lies. I always say this is the devil's anointing. It'll just be the pride of life, making those people stars. And they feed you these narratives. So when they meet real people and they have to sit down and talk, and now we challenge their true ideology, not your 5-second spill, not your 30-minute spill on a View. and with your crowd in the back applauding every time the producer pushes the button and tells them to applaud. That this is the truth. This is the truth. This is how you brainwash generations. You give them clowns like a Corey Holcomb. You give them clowns like, man, you give them these people to follow and aspire to that really don't have any substance.
We more focused on whether or not somebody's dead. Oh man, it's here. It's here. Before you ever start talking about this, before you ever start talking about what you're gonna do, you gotta think. You gotta think. And I'm basically exposing all of how trash the culture is. Listen. Don't tell me not to talk about it. Because
I told you, when I discovered how powerful it is, even in martial arts, combining it with military and different situations, I think God put me in certain situations for me to discover how important it is for emotional control. How important it is, even in corporate America, when I worked in corporate America, and I was a middle level management for a well-known Fortune 500 company, had blew out a lot of their sales awards and gave me my own sales team. The power of controlling your emotions in situations when they come up, I feel personally that's the reason why you get people like a Donald Trump, that he just drops certain things and he triggers, and he don't look like he's out of control. And people say he's out of control. He's out of control. You can't really read that. You don't see that. He's really, I tell you, 999% what he said he means. He means. Very rarely does he take it back and say anything different. But I said the guy's a triple threat: entertainment, business, and politics. The use of emotional control in all of those spaces, it's a different level of intellectual prowess. And we all can be better. We all can get better. But we got to clearly think why we believe what we believe. And we got to see it, the thought process from the beginning to the end. And we've got to be able to sit down with anyone and be able to explain to them why I believe what I believe, and then have the facts to actually back it. Not what somebody told you about something. Not what somebody told you.
Because what I hear y'all talking about is bullshit all day long. So I'm going to use this as a real life, no holds bars experience as to why the culture is trash. We don't have any leaders because they're being led by people that are telling them and putting in their back what they supposed to do, and they all crash dummies. They're all crash dummies. We don't have any leaders, and that's why we fucked up as a culture, because y'all decided to pedestalize niggas like Corey and act like they're your leaders, when in reality, all we needed was a nerd nigga like me to come in and say, nigga, fuck you. Suck my dick. That's all we needed, was a nerd.
Oh, man. If you don't believe that things are really changing on so many levels right now, you're going to be left behind. You're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, TikTok. You're really not noticing what's happening.
Nerd ass nigga from Detroit to come in and say, yep, I see where the weakness is at. Because guess what? If God is with me, and I keep telling y'all that, I know y'all don't believe it. I know that everybody, I've been saying this for years. I don't give a fuck, and I take orders from nobody. The only being that can tell me what to do is God. That's it. If God got my back, I don't give a fuck about these niggas. I share
his opinion. it took a while to get to that point of understanding that even as a grown man going through the military, going through martial arts, dealing with real estate, dealing with business, you fall, you get up, you make good money, you make great money, you start to grow. You don't really get the concept that when God is for you, a lot of the stuff that these people throw at you, a lot of the stuff that the haters that you have, because you all got haters. If you're different, I'm telling you, if you're different and you're out of the box, man, if you don't fit in with the people around you and you know you don't fit in and you always hear that still small voice telling you to do this or to do that, to do this or to do that, and you don't have a desire to really be around these people, or you'll be around them and like, okay, but it doesn't meet that desire, God calling you. And there's nothing wrong with being sometimes secluded, set apart, but you get it, he puts you in certain situations even like that where you this it's not the Christian faith that they've been lying to people and telling people about. It's not. It's literally having a relationship with God where he tell you to move, stand up, sit down, go to do this, don't do that. I need you to take a look at this. And he ain't angry, ain't mad at you. Not for nothing. He don't even remember what you did the other day. He more or less just want to fellowship and talk to you. When people like Anton talk about stuff like that, for some people, it go through one ear and the other. Y'all just still want to talk about the white man's religion. Y'all still want to talk about the white Jesus. Isn't it the white man's religion? And I said, oh, well, Christianity was in Ethiopia way before it ever got into Europe. But it's still the white man religion.
Looking to be friends. I hate you niggas. I hate you. I hate the very guts that you got. I hate what you stand for. I hate what you represent. I hate everything about you because you are horrible. You horrible for our people. You horrible for our culture. You actually degrade us. You make us look stupid. You're ignorant. You're uneducated. And you a straight up nigga. And we don't like you niggas no more. You niggas is played out. We off y'all. We're off you. We off y'all. We're no longer interested in uneducated baby daddies.
Is he lying? It's always the ones who got the multiple baby daddies that you guys listen to. It's always the ones that hated the women or smacked the women around or abused the women that you guys listen to. I know how to I know how to have a woman in a right position, have family and women in the right position where they need to be in my life. I don't need to degrade them to get them to that place. But for somehow, some way, these Negroes became the voice of a generation, became the voice of the people. And what's worse is that nobody's ever challenged it and nobody really says anything about it. Let me say nothing about it. Y'all just continue listening to them, continue following what they got to say, continue commenting, whether it's the Cam Newtons, whether it's the Nick Cannons, just impregnating women left and right, having a bunch of babies. And then having a baby for every month and all you say is, oh, yeah, they got the money and they got the bread to do that. Negro, if you got the money and the bread to do that, you got the money and the bread. First of all, let's step back. Does having money and the bread mean that it's right? Does it mean that these children actually grow up getting 100% of you or getting what they need from you? But we elevate these guys. We elevate them. Yeah, we elevate them. And it's only one or two things. You go to college and then you're inundated by craziness from the left, or you're inundated where they tell you just need a college degree. And if you don't have that college degree, you're not going to be nothing, not successful, which is a lie. Or you hit the block and you dealing with the comedians, you're dealing with the low-level dudes from the streets that run, like the Jim Joneses and all of them. Yeah, you're dealing with them, and you're dealing with that mentality, and you guys take that mentality, or you try to be the ball player or the football player, the sports guy, but you don't make it. Very few people in that space actually make it. And the ones who make it, we find out already when they stop playing, they come out broke. But you get the boring people that all they want to do is love their wife. All they want to do is build a business. All they want to do is make a little bit of bread. They the average dudes that been around, been married to the same woman for 18, 19, 20 years. They ain't got no kids out of wedlock out here. Then had a little bit of the street and then understand they prefer where they at. And they got some working business knowledge, but you do not find these people. These are not the people that you listen to. These are the corniest motherfuckers that you guys choose to. Y'all like, I don't want that. I want this. So you wonder why your women, the girls you raise, don't have an image of what a true man is supposed to be like or how he's supposed to move. They're influenced by other girls their age that don't even know the difference anyway. They never seen it. Or mothers that never came from a male household. Never did. Bro.
Fuck you niggas. We're no longer interested in the uneducated, ignorant representation of us somehow, some way being able to determine how we supposed to move as a culture. Fuck you niggas. Fuck everything about what you stand for, what you own, nigga. Tell the jokes and go home. But we not taking no more advice as a culture from people that do not have our best interests at heart.
Come on.
Your life is not a reflection of what we should be talking about and what we should be following.
Come on.
The Lord says you will know them by their fruits. Don't take advice from no multiple time baby daddy. When the fuck this nigga became the litmus test for how we supposed to move as a culture?
My man is on it. That's why I had to play this. I had to play it because I've already been down that road taking advice from these broke 3, 5 baby daddy, baby having, no woman having, all of them done in wedlock Negroes. And it took some real pain to say, nigga, you are so far ahead of these Negroes. They give you direction on how to live life, and they can't even interact with a woman on any meaningful level, add any value to her life, have any level of discernment. I'm gonna tell you, and I did this video. I already did a video on this, and I'm gonna continue to put this out. You gotta choose your friends better. You gotta choose your role models better, and you gotta choose real good teachers. You gotta choose true teachers, real teachers, not the teachers that haven't been in that shit before. You gotta choose real good teachers. Real good teachers. Man, I'm telling you, if I did real estate again, I found some good teachers, but I would have chose them faster. I would have chose them a whole lot faster and not dealt with some of the BS that you see out here. It's true for real estate. It's true for if you're a man, you're going to have a family. You're going to raise a family. If you're going to be a man and get married and hopefully you're married before you raise a family. Get married, raise a family. If you're going into, even in a spiritual walk, and you like, hey, I want to have a better relationship with God, I want to do those things, bro, God will put teachers around you. You don't have to go out and glean and trade your soul, your spirit, your money, all this stuff for teachers, good teachers. Good teachers are less about what I can get from you and more what I can give to you, but they have a good, smart way in doing it where you're just not draining them. Because when you start off down the road, whether you're talking about real estate, whether you're talking about growing up spiritually, whether you're talking about being a better husband, whether you're talking about being a better father, you're going to drain people because you're always pulling. God will show you how to actually connect with good teachers. There's a book by Robert Kiyosaki called Fake Money, Fake Teachers. What was it? Fake Money, Fake Teachers, and there was another thing that's fake. Man, if you remember, drop a comment and let me know, right? Fake Money and Fake Teachers. But the book is called Fake. And it didn't mean so much when I read it back then. It means more now as I noticed that the economy, the atmosphere, life is just starts to pull and tighten up and challenges come. You'll know them by their fruit.
When we start pedestalizing, what happened to people that actually was a reflection of the thing that we would advocate for our children to be? How many people say, I want my child's life to be like Corey Holcomb? Why do we pedestalize this dumbass activity? Why are y'all so afraid to call these niggas out and say that this is not how we supposed to move as a culture and as a community? Why would y'all lean towards them on how you and me are supposed to move, but you wouldn't have your kid be mentored by them? Why? Why? Why do y'all fear telling these niggas to their face, nigga, you a ho. Why do y'all fear walking into they den? The word said that Meshach, Shadrach, and they went straight into the mire. Because y'all niggas don't really believe what you say. You don't really believe what you read. You lukewarm when it comes to your spirituality and your real beliefs, because when y'all actually show up in person, you cower. But guess what? It was nothing that nobody can do with me because I'm already covered. I believe so fervently in what I'm doing. I believe so fiercely in what I represent. I'm so steadfast in what I am going to do, and that nobody can stop me. And I've been saying this for years, standing on this shit right here on this platform, to you, to all of my bag chasers, to every single person that watch me and have a conversation about me. I've been standing on this shit since forever. And you know what people keep trying to do? They keep on trying to figure out how to take it down, how to stop it. Oh man, he ain't gonna blow up. He ain't gonna do this. He ain't gonna do that. You know why? Because they hate what they not.
Come on. Come on. When you truly know what he's saying is when you truly know who you are, when you truly know your identity, and your identity has nothing to do with this color in your skin. It has to do with what's the true you and how the true you was made, designed. And the only one who knows that true design is God. Not this religious thing that y'all go to church and you want to scream and yell and you think them screaming and yelling at you is doing something. It's completely the opposite. It's the thing that you don't like to face, but you got to face it, and you do it in that quiet, secret place at night. And you don't bring it to him because you don't think that he would even listen to you, or what. All these little things is what people, brothers, really walk with God, we throw in front of him. We don't do all that. Knowing who you truly are is more important than knowing even the color of your skin and the ethnicity of your background. I keep saying it, and I will always say it, man. This flesh dies, it withers, it goes to dust. This is not about who is the most best behaved and nice to people and all these different things. Now, I'm not advocating going around being mean, pulling out chairs from under old ladies. This is not what I'm advocating. What I'm saying is there's a place where that becomes a performance and it's strained, and it was never designed to be like that. That's why he said you will know them by their fruit. That fruit comes out of fellowship and private time. It doesn't come through any of that. It doesn't come because we got to all navigate these issues of life. We just choose to navigate it with him. That's it. And over time, he deals with all the other issues that I got going on in the personal stuff, some bad habits that I stop and all that other stuff. But stopping the bad habits that's not how you start it. Like, that's not how it runs. Like, it's a different engine. It's not the engine they told you on Sunday morning and at your religious church. It's not. It's not. African Americans forget they are black once they start making money. I think, I can say I don't think it's they forget they're black. They try to distance themselves so far from the pain of probably where they came from that it looks to everybody else that they're distancing themselves and being something different because they made money. When in essence, the money just helped them to step away from their background that they came from, whether it was the streets, whether it was a broken home or different things like that, bad people they were around. And then you tier that on top of not being able to really manage the money or not knowing how to manage it. And then you tier on top of that the insecurities of oh, I got this money. Now this means that I have a level of significance. You never got that significance before you got money. You needed the money to give you significance. When you tier that on top of that, and then you put on top of that bad habits and character flaws, it just becomes a shit show. It really does. And then we try to unearth it or dissect it, try to figure out, and it's because it's not one thing. There's a scripture that says, if the foundation be destroyed, what shall the righteous do? And it says that because the foundation indicates, just like a house, the house is built on something. We're the temple of the Holy Spirit. Yeah, we're the temple of God. This temple, this house is built on something. So what is it built on? What's deeper than the physical structure, the thing you can't see right now, is the roots, the foundation of it. If that foundation doesn't reflect the foundation of God or a character of the Father, then you're going to always have those type of situations that occur because the foundation is broke. And now you have women that run around in society and you guys are trying to find good men, but you're running into a bunch of men where the foundation is broke. The foundation's been destroyed. They said, what shall the righteous do? What the righteous should do, and that scripture was given, I think, in Isaiah or Nehemiah. The righteous now, in this day and age, what they do is they go to a quiet place and they talk to God like he's a person that's there. No need to go through a bunch of different people to do it. And you listen for a response and you talk to him like it's there. And that's how you begin. And then you begin by opening a book, and then you figure it. You start working. Everybody goes on a journey. I'm not the same person I was when I started my walk being a Christian. I don't even consider certain things Christianity anymore that I see, and I'm like, I just think it's just show and dance and performance. But it took me talking to him to get to that point, to understand that. So now these people that don't have that level of depth, they're the ones that are now becoming or have become the shining lights and the beacon for the African American community, the Black community. Everybody has different ways, and every society has to deal with that. We had to deal with that in the 70s, the 60s, when our stars were the people that were put in the limelight next to Martin Luther King and some of the other ones to be examples. But they were stars. They were used to singing, dancing, doing what they did. But hey, what do we know? What do we know?
They hate what they couldn't be. They hate education. They hate really knowing their history. They hate the truth. And they leading our youth into destruction. And so y'all niggas keep on telling me to shut up. I'm telling you niggas, I'm never shutting up. I haven't. I'm not. It's not going to happen. And it is what it is. Listen, I'm the king. I'm the king of this shit. I run this shit here. I run this. And I'm comfortable. I'm so comfortable. I'm so comfortable. Let me go get my blanket. I'm so comfortable, bro. I'm so comfortable. I'm so comfy. I feel good. Yeah, I feel good. I feel great. Great. Nigga, I'm Tony the Tiger Great. Tony the Tiger Great.
if nobody talks about it, it'll just continue to persist. And people will just wonder, they're like, I'm tired of, I don't like it when I see other races see me through the most ignorant lenses of my culture. I mean, hey, hey, I don't like it. I don't know about you. I don't, but if nobody says anything about it, it'll continue. Same thing with the church. Same thing with the whole Bible deal, Christianity. Nobody says anything about it. If I don't share that type of stuff, it'll persist. So I just have to share it. I have to share it. Like what you get at church, 95% of the time is a lie. It's not put together correctly. It's not read through in context, and it's very, very heavily weaponized in order to keep the black community in certain places. And it's the greed of certain people that's delivering the message. They won't tell people the truth. The truth is that they don't need them. The truth is that everything that they telling them to come pay for at the altar, everything they telling them they got to pray for and strive for, God has already done it and given it to them. Your job is just to have communication with him and relationship with him so he can show you how to walk in those things. But they trained us so much. Come on, man. My wife sent me this video, man. She sent me this video, and I saw this, then I had to go look and find some more. And I am convinced this soft life era needs to stick around for an extended period of time. I am all about the soft life era for women. I am all about it. I have committed inwardly to make every last opportunity of the soft life be in my house. In every way, shape, or form. Because the reality of it, my wife, she calls me to do stuff anyway. Okay? That's what real men do. Now, this is chopped up, so let's stop. Let's start. Let's go.
I don't know about y'all niggas, but I love when a woman be like, soft girl era, soft girl, it's soft over here. I love a soft girl. I can't do no more pit bulls, D-tackles, linebackers, bitches who done dated NFL players and robbed them. I can't do none of that no more, y'all. I cannot do it. Because the thing about these pit bulls out here, they always mad. They mad when they wake up. They mad when they go to sleep. They just mad about any goddamn thing. Soft girls, they're a little expensive, a little bougie a little bit, but at least they soft. At least you're gonna wake up to your balls getting rubbed in the egg for sun. At least you don't gotta worry about looking over your shoulder at nighttime because they might stab your motherfucking ass. Julio! Soft girl, me, I can't do no more linebackers.
So my soft girl era don't got nothing to do with pedicures and massages, perfume, and 3-wick candles, because that's just, that's everyday life. This soft girl era got everything to do with releasing everything that has forced me to be hard.
And I think some of you guys don't get it. If you're a guy, you listening to this, that's really what it has to do with. Some of these women are really, really hard. It's like they holding on to a lot because they carrying a lot. And when they decide to release it, you want to be the Negro that picks it up and say, babe, listen, I see you putting down that boulder you've been carrying. Come over here. We in a recession.
So if I ever felt that I had to be defensive in your presence, just go ahead and stay over on that side. If I ever felt that I was being mishandled to the point that I had to protect myself emotionally from you, I'm not the one for you. Go find you a nice, tough young lady. If I gotta start minimizing my feelings or my love because of the box that you want to keep me in, I'm gonna have to step away. This open heart was never made for the cage or the role that you wanted me to play. In my heart, she been beaten way too loyally for you to just come along and break her. That's my girl. So we not doing that. And if you ever wanted me to be humble but you neglected to speak life into me, I'm going to be looking at you sideways. So that's too much respect to risk. We should just go on about our business.
True men know how to speak life into them women. I'm telling you, true men. If you're a real dude, you know how to speak life into your woman. You know how to speak.
No matter how strong I am, I want to be protected. I want to turn a house into a home. I want to raise someone's legacy. I want to be vulnerable. like a woman should be without feeling like I'm under attack. In this crazy world, I'm just a girl. I want to love deep, and I want somebody I can take care of. You know, it's my soft girl era.
I think men have a unique chance to activate soft girl era in our women nowadays. Just remove the need for her to live outside of that. In what ways are you making the load she has to carry as light as you possibly can? Are you waking up early to make sure she's up on time?
These are acts of kindness, guys. Acts of kindness, displays of kindness. That is a love language. That's one way to actually love on your woman. You gotta find how she, her love language. Some women, it's words you speak of affirmation. Don't think soft life has to do with just money. This is as much as her making the decision to live in that place of being of not caring and that hardness, and as well as you deciding to live in that place of now expressing love to her. Okay, so she can feel comfortable and confident in her feminine energy and not carrying that hardness with her. So go ahead, let's rock.
Putting towels by the shower. Are you making sure she has something to eat with a cup of coffee? If it's cold outside, did you go start a car for her and warm it up? Well, men don't do all that. I don't care if you're a man or not. These are small things you can do for someone who you want to have a good day, right? All she literally has to do is wake up. The shower is ready, food and coffee is ready, bags are in the car, car's.
Now, I know what he's talking about. That this is great for TikTok, but honestly, I ain't doing that, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I just am not extended to his level. See, we gotta be for real with ourselves. As doing it as well as knowing what you don't do is as real as doing it also. So, and there's nothing wrong with saying you don't do that. I don't do that. I've heard dudes, I've heard about stuff like that. I don't do that. I know how you start. Like I think I bought, like when I first started dating her, I was choosing shoes, buying shoes, finding the pumps that I like, along with like all of that. And consistently through the years, she's always gotten that, whether it's the LV bag or whatever it may be, things that I knew she liked that was really nice and just fly, you know? But some of that, homeboy winning. I hope he just not giving advice. He got to be living it. And listen, just be prepared to go the distance. It's like that YouTube channel. If you're going to post, just be consistent with it. Don't just post once in a while. You get inconsistent results. Trust me.
Warmed up. It took you 30 minutes and a little bit of effort to set her up for the next 12 hours of her day. And now you get to enjoy a woman who's in her soft girl era, at peace, not irritable.
I don't know about that. Like, I don't like it when y'all give advice and y'all have no idea on what you're doing.
It must be nice to be a wife living in your soft girl era, ain't that?
And I said, I'm not saying he's off, but you got to realize I'm going to stop that, because I threw that video in there and I liked what he was saying at the beginning. And it's just like what I said before. I prefer it coming from dudes who actually do this type of stuff, not and have been doing it. And they anchored in doing it. And ladies, I'm telling you, there are guys that's like that, that's out there. Hold on. Let's go home.
What y'all call it? The soft girl, soft life, or whatever you call it, man. My wife had a flat last night. Like 8 o'clock at night, I had to get up out the bed, go get out the side of the road. Took a towel. I just went and bought her a new tire. Leaving the tire shop now. Man, it's 8 a.m.
Homeboy about to flex on y'all. He about to flex on y'all. Yo, his info right there in the TikTok too.
I already took this tire off, took it to the tire shop, bought a new tire. Now I'm about to head back to the car to put the tire on. Bro, my wife's still in the bed. She don't give a damn about the tire. She ain't woke up not one time and thought, hey man, my car on the side of the road. Maybe I need to go, you know. but I'm not complaining at all. You see what I'm saying? Don't think I'm complaining, because that's the kind of life I want her to live. You see what I'm saying? If you a man, your wife shouldn't have to worry about changing the tire number. But at the same time, it's like, golly, if I was on the side of the road, bro, I would be stressing, trying to see how would I get my car back? You see what I'm saying? All right, so I ain't gonna lie. I forgot to record myself changing the tire, but hey, the tire changed, man. Got the jack and everything on the back of the truck. The tire changed, man.
I would say he forgot to record himself because it's so natural. It's just what you do. It's just what you do. How many times I've called AAA to come? AAA, come and get this. We got to go. How many times I say, hey, babe, take my car. I'm going to deal with this and try to figure out what we need to do with this. I need to go to the shop. I need to take a look at whatever. Let me deal with this today. That's what she needs. That's what she needs. That's why he didn't record it. He didn't record it because it's just natural. It's just what you do after you've done it for a period of time. So I guess in a way I'm saying this soft life era, this soft girl era type of thing, this soft girl era is not really new. You guys are really just articulating what a lot of married women have already been experiencing. The good married ones, the ones that have been around for the last 15, 17, 20 years. Yes, there is a certain level of soft girl that they are able to exude because their man does stuff like this. That's what we do.
About to go get my wife so she can come get her car.
My man.
You can 100% turn a girl into her soft girl era.
They want to be submissive.
They do.
It takes the right man, though.
They not capping when they say this. It takes the right man to really put them in that. For real, for real. I learned that the hard way. I learned that for real. When you just ain't that guy to her, she not about to be soft for you.
Yo, homeboy's right. He 100% right. You can't, sometimes some of you guys struggle because you try to tame these women that honestly, like, she not in your class, bro. You don't have the juice to actually tame her. You don't have it. And the right one will have the juice to tame her. Like, the right one will be able to so when you see a woman, you're like, oh, she not submissive. No, she not submissive to you. Because you don't exude what she needs to give her a level of comfort to get to that place of being submissive. 20-year vet telling you, understand, I'm showing you how to handle the rock. So you can stop spending your time like trying to, what is the best way to put it? Like, try to check these girls. I'm going to tell you, I like stallions that run, okay? Because when they hear me call them like that Indian in the field, and I'm like, hey, come here.
Oh, no.
She just simply comes. And y'all be like, that's funny as shit. But it's real, bro. It's real. It's real. My wife ignored dudes until I told, hey, you need to chill. Like, this how we gonna, if you're gonna roll with me, this is what you're gonna do. This is how you gonna roll. And she first thing she said was, oh my God, he put me in my place. And you know, the ones that are wild, those stallions that are wild, and they just don't want to be capped or tamed by any, they just want to roll up on campsites and eat food randomly and just be wild. Let them run wild. Let them run wild. Your job is really just to identify, and you're like, okay. And if she don't respond, you got to just get off your horse and realize that she probably may not be for you. So don't bash the soft girl era. She just may not be for you, homie. She just may not be for you.
You know, it takes a very specific man to take a hyper independent girl out of survival mode and into her soft feminine energy. That girl didn't get that way for no reason. She had seasons where she had to do it all, handle everything, carry the weight, save herself. So when she finally meets a man who makes her exhale instead of tense up, yeah, that hits different. For real, for real. It's the kind of man who doesn't get scared of her strength, too. He understands it. He respects it. He knows that she built it from pain, and he doesn't try to control her. He just shows up, consistent and steady and safe. And little by little, you'll see her soften. You'll see her relax. You'll see her lean in, because she finally feels like she doesn't have to be on guard anymore. And that's what's
And if it's, guys, I'm gonna tell you, if it's too much, if it's work for you to do that, then you might need to consider the fact that she may not be the one. Because it shouldn't be work to actually do that. It really should be natural because you just want to actually like take care of her. If you don't want to take care of a chick, don't take care of the chick. But you should want to take care of the right one. And if it's work, the work should be easy work. It should be that type of work where you like, damn, okay, shoot, I'm just gonna floss. She should be able to get upset, mad, lips twist, all of that, and you like, because real talk is, I take care of you. And it always doesn't have to be financially. I'm telling y'all, it doesn't. It doesn't. It starts mentally before it ever goes financially, bro. It starts mentally and spiritually before it even goes into the physical world. Now, that might be over the head for some of y'all. Y'all ain't ready.
softness looks like on a woman who's been in survival mode too long. Where y'all at? Survival mode women. She don't need saving. She just needs a place where her nervous system can finally rest.
That's it. She just want to
I'm in my
rest.
soft girl era. I'm trying to have a soft life.
What does that mean for you?
That means I'm not arguing with nobody. I'm not arguing with niggas.
I told you. She not arguing with nobody. She not arguing with nobody. Hold on. I gotta skip that one. I know y'all like it. But
Women typically want and need the emotional security from men. They also need that bond of equals, knowing that we will share responsibilities and you're not superior to me. You're not treating me like I'm inferior to you. Women typically want men who can appreciate her delicacy and not mishandling her, to understand that she's still a woman. Seeing her, giving her that compassion, that trustworthiness. A lot of women are looking for that, just to add on.
man. So, just like everything in life, this has just been my thing. It starts here before it even starts out there. So, my advice, if you want a soft woman, you want a woman that's in that, like that feminine energy exuding. My wife exudes it so freaking much. It crushes it. Like it crushes the air, the atmosphere, everything submits. But I also know how to also handle that too. You know? It starts with working on yourself first, fellas, on the inside, man. You gotta start surrendering yourself to him. And let him do that work in you. Don't try to do it yourself. Don't. Because it's not about you trying to do the work yourself, as it's much more about you having a relationship with him while the work is getting done. Try to have me repeat that to you again. You having a relationship with him while the work is getting done. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. You know, I gotta pull this up. Oh my gosh. Bro, there is a video of the actual baggage, and maybe I'm gonna have to pull it and get it. I thought I brought it over. I thought I had it. I thought I already took it in, and I may be wrong. I may be 100% wrong, but I'm gonna play this video for you guys pretty soon of bags, like literally bags, bro, going over to Somalia. Bags going to Somalia, filled with hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they were talking about this 7 years ago. I came up on it and I started doing some research. I thought it was crazy. I was like, wow, they've been moving money to Somalia overseas already 7, 8 years ago. Let me hit this video and then I'm gonna roll out after this, because this made me kind of I might roll back out. I got a bunch of stuff to talk about, but this actually made me start thinking about my daughter. She's going to college. I mean, it's like, yo, and I still think about college and high school. There are a lot of things when I keep saying things about like streamers and the new economy, when I say things like the way we make money in the future, the way we traditionally made money has changed and is evolving. This video highlights what I mean by that a lot more in depth. There is a place where I believe, because we've been through so much shit in life, we've lost, a lot of people lose their creativity. They lose their ability to be able to monetize situations, to be able to find money and be resourceful when there's no money, and doing it in an ethical and legal way. And I believe that when we have the rise of AI, like, you got to see, I'm doing things like creating AI avatars. AI avatar. I made an AI avatar for a sweepstakes campaign. One of my guys was friends that he has. He's an investor. He was giving away an apartment. I created an AI avatar to be able to now interact with people and talk to them about it. And they gave each one characters. The right company, done the right way, you're talking about making bread upon bread upon bread. And that's why I started doing that. I started dealing with AR avatars. I took courses on prompt engineering to be able to write good, solid prompts and communicate with some of these large learning models. So I can now be able to do the things that I know a lot of people, business owners, the mom and pops, the ones that got the cigar places, the ones that got the mechanics, the dentists, they're not going to be able to sit down and do it. They're going to want to hire people to be able to do that type of stuff. Love marketing. The way it streamlines marketing is insane. I keep saying this, and I believe we're like right on this cuff of something that is as big as the internet when it came out. And I'm not just throwing it out there. You can listen to the Gary V's. You can listen to a bunch of people on the internet, YouTube, talking about AI and the power of AI. Yeah. But there's something about when a person like me, who discovered the power of marketing so late in his real estate life, and then when he started to embrace it, this AI thing a couple years later comes around the corner. And you saw how you did marketing where we ran Facebook ads, we did all this other stuff. Now we can see how powerful it can be. But more importantly, if we have children now, how do we begin to teach them and show them that this economy is a new economy? And you may not get it. Maybe this is just shedding light to, you always wonder, what about this AI thing and what does it really mean? If you don't use AI, at least ChatGPT, OpenAI, Gemini, at least 2 to 3 times out of the freaking day, I would say do that. If you're listening to this in replay, do it, and constantly do it. Don't get caught up in this lie, this narrative that AI is of the devil and all this crazy stuff is going to happen. Please don't do that. Take the time and study this and put it in action into your life on a daily basis. Because I believe that the way that money's made by middle income America is going to change drastically. The way we make money is going to be tied to our level of creativity. And that level of creativity is going to be hinged on how we can communicate with these large learning models and these chat GPTs, these Geminis, type systems, Grok, how we can communicate with them and get what we're looking for, what we need. There are people I know that write books, and they can write a book and get almost literally within a week pivoting off of what they get from Chat GPT and then now what they put in it themselves if they go and they do it. Some I've done in a day. I've seen them do it in a day. I've done pamphlets and manuals in a day, but a book really that combines solid information from the web, from Chat GPT, along with your solid experiences. It takes a little bit more time to cultivate, but even doing that within 5 to 7 days is crazy. So we don't need to be in that place where we start complaining about what's taking place with Trump in office. Because while we complain and we look at that, this revolution is taking place over here, and we're leaving skills and money on the table. Skills and money. I like to listen to PBD's podcast. Not everything, but certain pieces, I like to listen to it. I felt like this was a very good podcast to share with you. Go support the podcast, like, subscribe, follow him. But this was very, very strong. Very, very strong.
There's nothing we can do. The great millennial career crisis has workers given up on ever owning homes or paying off their student loans. This is a Market Watch story. Rob, I don't think you have a video on this one here, but I will go to the story. If you got the article you want to bring up, there you go. Christopher Drake, 39, has made a nice career for himself as a process engineer, but he isn't where he'd like to be at this point in his life and career due to what he says are broken promises from growing up as a millennial. It sucks. There's nothing we can do. Drake from Corning, New York, told Market Watch, our age bracket was told you have to go to college, get a degree to be successful. But he found out that even those who worked hard instead of partying during their college years got a serious reality check after graduation. And in the years since then, the jobs aren't there. Drake left college a decade ago with $120,000 in student loan debt, which he says sits at around $150,000 today, despite years of payments due to high interest rates on his loans. A lot of my friends and I discuss how there are a lot of people our age that have just given up. Drake is going through what many of his peers online are calling the great millennial career crisis, a generational struggle defined by burnout, financial insecurity, and a lack of stability by adults ages 29 to 44. Videos of these frustrated 30, 40-something Americans discussing their personal traits have garnered hundreds of thousands of views on social media, particularly on TikTok. Brandon, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a victim mindset for him to say this, but it is true that you definitely have to approach life differently today, I think, than you did 20, 30 years ago because of the way that things are going with the inflation, the devaluation of money. I do think that it is like a bad situation for you if you just rely on a salary. If you're starting your career off now, like I don't think that 100 or 200,000 is going to take care of yourself and a family. So I think that if you don't start a business or if you're not like in a commission based job where there is like uncapped upside for you, you're in a tough situation. But it's a victim mindset to say that it's helpless and you're giving up. I think you just have to be more exceptional than ever today as a young person. And that doesn't happen overnight. It's a rigorous thing that you have to be obsessive about. And not everybody's going to do it because it's probably like an 80-20 thing.
Being in a commission-based job as a young person is probably the best thing that you could do. So if you know a young person and trying to struggle and figure out how to navigate in this type of climate, being commission-based, even with a small base and commission, it's the best thing that you could ever do. If you commit to actually learn how to actually sell. So, and this is true even if you're not a young person and you're not in your 20s. If you're in your 30s, even in your early 40s, it's not too late for you to learn. I worked commission only doing alarm sales for ADT corporate and as a independent contractor. I did that for a couple years. And I did 6 figures each year. And I'll blow your mind even worse. My wife did the same thing with me, and she did 6 figures each year. And so people don't like that. They like, hey, man, you're going door to door, or you're setting up appointments and meeting with people at their home or their business. I'm trying to tell you that, like for me, when time's a situation, I told a buddy of mine this too. I said, man, go sell some systems. A time in a situation like this and money's tight, there are so many independent contracting companies that will hire you to sell alarm systems. Don't believe the hype thinking that everything is done online, simply safe, and people order it and just do that. You still have a good core group of baby boomers, Xers, who would prefer to have somebody come to their house and make sure that the house is wired properly and that that system is ordered properly. And those large systems, those automated systems that work only for like simply safe, those things are only good for people who have small little houses. You want the big houses because that's going to be the big money. But knowing that commission and knowing that when times are bad right now and they're crazy, somebody's trying to protect their stuff, somewhere. They could benefit from a security evaluation. Now, ADT is just one example, and that's commission-based. But the commission-based service, the closer it is to a need, and the further it fits in, better it fits and centers in the current climate, the more valuable you become. The more valuable it becomes, the more money you can make. More money.
With people who are willing to do what it takes to be exceptional, but that's my opinion on it.
How do you feel about it, Mark? Because you have 2 daughters, married 22 years. So this is something where you probably talk to your girls about. Their friends probably come over and say, "Hey, Mark, what do you think I should do?" All this other stuff. How does this language make you feel, and do you agree with them?
Yeah, so he says here that due to broken promises. The broken promises are that he went to university, and the problem is that the university gave him went to a industrial era university that gave him an industrial era lens and equipped him for an industrial era world, and he's now graduated and find out that he's no longer in an industrial era, and we've left the information age and we're now in the intelligence age. So they're unequipped, they don't have the right tools, they don't know how to look at the world. And so now the broken promise is that the world that they were equipped for and trained for no longer exists.
So we're in the intelligence age. That's why I'm saying we're witnessing a massive shift, even with all the stuff that's going on, chaotic wise, the chaos in Minnesota, stuff in California, this craziness that's coming up in Iran, and they're protesting and they're trying to get free, and Venezuela. We're in the middle of a real big transition, and the transition is going from one age to the next age. And I believe, and I continuously I believe, and I listen to Gary Vee and some of the great ones, but at the same time, I do remember some of the guys who wasn't the Gary V's, before Alex Hormozi started when he was just doing his first book. All these guys who spoke marketing and look at the future, look at content, things like that. We're going into that. We're in that space. Making content has become so much easier since AI. Once I understood how to use AI, my content game changed crazy. Even with this channel right here, I mean, you're watching it. Imagine this. I started this channel a couple years ago, and then I let it die out. And I did 1 or 2 videos here and there, and I let it die out. I hadn't touched this channel probably for about 2 years, man. And I woke up one morning, he was like, make content. So I had to start digging in, making content. I'm like, I didn't fight it. He was showing me signs already. This is why I say relationship with God is important. In 60 days, I took this channel from being 100 subscribers to over 1,000 subscribers in 60 days. He gave me the blueprint on how to do that. And now, for everyone that likes and subscribes to this channel, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for supporting. I had to get my shit together. But things like this, in the course of doing that, I learned so much with AI. I learned so much with thumbnails. I learned so much with making AIs. I learned so much with building AI tools, from chatbots to avatars to all. I just dug down deep into it. Videos, VEO3. We're in a different world right now, and it's coming. And the faster you can get onto it, the better it's going to be for your income streams.
The problem. The paradox is this. It's never been harder to survive right now with a college degree because wages haven't kept up with prices.
Which is true.
But the paradox is that it's never been easier to make money than it is today. We have $20 trillion that was printed in the last 5 years that's sloshing around in the economy. And with a laptop and some AI, you could go make 100 grand or $1 million or 10 million very quickly. So it's never been harder with industrial era lens. It's never been easier if you could realize that the world has changed. So how do I answer this as a father of two? Neither of my daughters are going to college. Neither.
Really?
No way. No way. The number
what,
one.
What grade are they in right now?
I have a 21-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old daughter. So one's a junior, one's out.
So the one that's out, what does she do?
She's learning how to make money.
Is she having a hard time doing it?
No, she's making money. She can make money very easily. So she went to a trade school.
Okay.
She went to a trade school. She became a holistic health coach.
Okay.
So she spent $10,000, $5,000 plus another $5,000 in a trade school, right? She's a holistic health coach. She's doing holistic chefing.
So check that out. She just picked up a trade, whether it's that. It can be HVAC, it can be plumbing, it can be electrical, it doesn't matter. I picked up mine was real estate, right? Became a realtor, worked 20 years as a realtor, learning sales, marketing, things like that. Okay. That now postures you and puts you in that position where now I can do stuff like this channel and tell you in the Patreon and other ways on how to find great real estate deals, things like that. Or have those conversations so you can better understand if it's a good time to buy and sell, which I don't talk a ton about, honestly, because I got my feelings on that. We'll talk more about that later on. But that trade move is there. And now you add in content on top of that. We're making content. We're sharing this with you. We're adding value into your life in some way, shape, or form. And if I am, thank you. Please like and follow, subscribe if I am in any way, shape, or form. Okay. But you start building off of that. Now you can do things where some of these people don't get. And I'm challenging people. I know you're listening to me and I'm challenging you, but that the days of digital assets haven't gone away. I would say that they've changed their form. They've changed their form. Okay. When this video is done and it's loaded into YouTube, it becomes a digital asset for me. It's me telling you about how AI and the market is changing when it comes to careers and our children and us navigating them. Somebody may listen to this 6 months from now. They may listen 3 months from now. YouTube will turn around and pay me. That's why I say the time is changing. And a lot of older folks, unfortunately, can't get it. They're not keeping up with it. I mean, I'm 47 years old. I can count on my hand how many people I know my age that actually know how to use AI tools. They navigate ChatGPT very well, and they use it in some way, shape, or form in their business. I've seen the ones younger than me, of course, 35, and younger, 40, 35 younger, using those tools a little bit better. It's easier for people my age to probably go start doing something like delivering DoorDash or something like that, which isn't bad. But imagine now being able to take what you have for all these years and give it to somebody in the form of AI, because you're able to use these tools to better take your thoughts and put them on paper and articulate them, and monetize them.
Got her Pilates certification. She has built up a decent audience. She's selling diet plans and she's making money. She's not looking for a job. My kids never look for a job. They just learned how to make money.
How was she in school? What was her GPA? Was she a high 4.0?
She was 4.0 all the way across.
So no problem with grade.
Sort of like me, she was didn't have to try. She did very well, but there was no university for her. I believe in the intelligence age, even the information age, the single most important skill is creativity. Because now we have technical workers at our disposal. So now I have to see a problem, have a creative way to solve the problem, and I have to organize the orchestra to play the song that I want, right? And so school is specifically designed to remove creativity. That is the intended purpose, to remove creativity and keep people in a box. The number one thing we need today, that's why people like this get out and they can't see all the opportunity because they have zero creativity.
Okay, so this is a great, folks, this is phenomenal for you. Let me explain to you why. You have two girls, 21 and 16. Neither one of them, you're saying, are going to college. Tom, you have two girls, 19 and 14, right?
Correct.
Am I saying it correctly?
That's exactly right.
So that means exactly your girls are 2 years apart. The oldest They're 5 years apart, 5 years apart,
5
right?
years apart, yeah.
So he's behind you by 2. Your oldest goes to a very well-known school. She got a 1560 on her SATs, and she's going to the college route. How different is your position than the one Mark just gave?
Well, my oldest is majoring in 2 STEM. She's a double major, statistics and analytics. And she is spending herself looking over my shoulder at startups and the engine of new business. So I would not have sent her simply to be a chemical engineer and come back with your
Or a
degree.
liberal arts degree.
Oh yeah, well that's off the table. We had a joke at our house and went like this: if you want to go study European art history at the Sorbonne in France, I hope your boyfriend has wealthy parents that love you more than I do,
Right.
that are willing to pay that bill. So that was always off the table. So she has a mentality of, right now she's coding in R, she's coding in Python, she's in statistics, and in 5 years she will have a double major and a master's of stats.
Amazing.
However, our focus on this is that weaponizes you to do what you want or to engage with a startup. Last year, her freshman to sophomore summer break, she did 6 weeks with a startup working with them. And before that, her break between senior year and freshman year, she did 9 weeks with a startup. That one was remote. But
I bet he realizes how his daughters think, so he knows how that actually fits. A lot of parents don't really take the time to really analyze how their children think. My wife started doing that, and it became like the best thing. Which she's like, hey, they don't fit here, don't fit there. We see certain gifts and you see certain talents in them and abilities and skills that can be molded into other things. So Tom's kids can easily wait 6 years before they really touch ground on any type of real entrepreneurial venture. But there's something about failing early and failing fast that changes the game. There are a lot of things I wish I would have done when it came to even real estate, failing faster than what I failed. But you learn from those experiences, and I probably wouldn't have had some of those experiences if I was more plugged into God too. I'm no lie. I just didn't listen at that time. I was stubborn. But they got to get that experience. They really do have to get it because the market is changing drastically.
I'm putting her in the river of creativity of people who are doing things for the future. But if that wasn't available, she wouldn't. Funny we bring this up, her little sister, we often talk now because I talk more to the little one than the older one because the little one's now an only child.
Right.
Because her 5-year older sister is at school.
Right.
And so we've had these conversations recently, you know, if you think of something, maybe you're Mark Zuckerberg, maybe you don't go to college, but I want to put you in the river of creativity so you can see what new businesses are doing and what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Because she has a non-blood uncle that's sitting right over here, and she knows his educational background and what he built and where he went and what he did. And she has seen the conventions and the result of it. So we're a split household right now.
Here's where we align. I believe that college is an important path for many people. I certainly want my heart surgeon to have gone to college if I were to have heart surgery. But college was never meant for the masses. So college was for elite people to get elite training, to get elite jobs. It was never for the masses. Now
like cardiologists or nuclear physicists.
Right. And now you have the masses that are in there, and it's a supply-demand thing. There's not enough elite-level jobs. So the old days was go to school, get a good job. But that's past. It's not mass. Number two, what I would say to that is that if you need that specialty training like the STEM and follow her dad, that's great. Most people don't. A trade school like my daughter went to, I think, is good enough. And I would just also reframe what I think trade schools are today. So I think trades, if you break it down, is a specialty skill. So we typically think of it as like a blue-collar skill, welding, plumbing, framing, something like that. And if I wanted to build a house or a building, I would call in trades, right? But today we have digital trades, we have soft trades. So if I want to build a business, I also call in trades, a social media person, an accountant, a bookkeeper, a video editor, and those are also trades as well today. And so I think a lot of people could just go to school or learn how to be a video editor or learn how to be a social media manager or learn how to be a copywriter and they could make a lot of money applying those trades to multiple businesses. I think the world's changed, and most people just need to catch up with that.
I like what both of you guys said, because the way I judge people's kids is in the following way, and I'll test them all the time, and they don't even know I'm doing it. We'll go to dinner, and I'll just ask pointed questions. So, Bailey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Brooke, what do you think about it? What happens with kids with this? What are kids in school right now saying about what happened with Charlie Kirk? What are they saying about what's going on with Iran? What are they saying about this person that's a content creator? What do they think about this? And I'll do this with Grace. I'll do this with my niece. You know, she asks me questions about Israel. She'll ask me questions about Iran. Like controversial topics, I want to ask them to see if their brain is creative enough to process the issue. And then I'll ask someone, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, who? No, I don't know. I don't care. I don't this. That's a lazy way of thinking, and your parents made you think that way.
Yeah.
So you can have two parents, one goes the university route, one goes the no college route, and they can both end up being successful because the parents are teaching critical thinking. There's too many empty conversations. Like yesterday, Dylan and I are sitting and he's doing homework. It's another one of those nights, Tom, till 11:30 he's doing homework. Now, here's the part. He had a basketball game and practice yesterday, and he had a 3-hour soccer practice. So the guy leaves school at 3 o'clock, basketball till 4:30, soccer till 9:30, comes home, showers, 10:15, sitting with me. We're there till midnight doing homework together. And, I'm stuck on this thing. Why are you stuck on it? Well, if the area of the triangle is 15.3 and the base is 4.5, I'm giving you the exact numbers, 4.5, and the formula is area equals half times base versus height. What is the height? Well, okay, what is half of, 4.5, 2.25? Okay, what is 15.3 divided by 2.25? I don't know how to do that. Yes, you do. What's 1,530 divided by 225? Well, I can do that. Well, then just move a couple decimal points. Go ahead and do it. What's the number? Comes out with 6.8. That's exactly the number I run to. What happened here? I got the number right. Yeah, you know how to do this stuff. Like, you got to push critical thinking.
Yeah.
You got to push for them to come up with a solution. And sometimes I think we waste too much time talking nonsense. Like, even if you're watching football, ask the question, do you think that was the right play? Do you think they did the right thing? Do you think they should have called the timeout? Do you think the timeout was at the right time? Should he have?
Asking your kids and asking questions, so crazy. So freaking crazy. We take this for granted so much in life, we don't really notice it, the power of even asking questions. And even in the questions you ask, how are they formulated? Like, how do you put them together? What is it really about? That's why even when it comes to dating, when it comes to when I dated my wife, I constantly asked questions and asked a lot of good questions. Not these stupid questions that some of you guys ask. Like, no. Like, good questions. Like, what's the latest book you read? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in communism? Do you believe in capitalism? What do you think about this? That exchange is the biggest thing that any couple right now, if you're dating someone, that you just need to have that level of exchange, because that question asking capability transfers over to real estate. It transfers over to business. So I'm now critically asking questions even to myself and then answering those questions. or when I'm in the front of somebody that knows more than me or they're a professional, I go right to the right question, not just beat around to like a whole bunch of other questions that don't make sense.
What do you call intentional grounding? Or should they have done that to save the timeout? That would have taken 6 seconds. Why did they call a timeout? These are moments to use the brain to do critical thinking. I don't know what percentage of parents do that. If you're in our environment, and I bet it's probably the same with you as well, we're always asking stuff like this. And it's strategic. Tom, I think you want to say something.
Because what you just said was so funny, because Bailey and I spent time watching NFL playoff game that had teams that we didn't really care one way or the other about. We're just waiting for the Niner game so mom can go crazy. None of the rest of us are Niner fans. And we were talking about coaching decision-making. And Bailey came to the conclusion at the end, says, well, no wonder they're talking about firing that guy, even if they win this game. Because we're talking about decision-making. We weren't talking about football. What a great play. What an athlete.
These are higher level conversations that if you ever feel that when you look at certain ethnic groups, let me rewind and say it like this. When you look at certain ethnic groups, okay, and when somebody ever tells you to say, oh, white people are like this, white people are like that, and then you have this. No, it's certain things that we hold more true than others. So there are some black families. This is not true for all. It's not true for a lot of black families. I'm not going to say it's true for all black families, but it's true more for less of them than it is for more of them. That's in my opinion. You tell me if I'm wrong. Leave a comment. I'll listen. They don't take the time to lay that foundation of asking those critical questions, critical thinking, challenging, and theorizing on basic things that you see. So why do you think he said this? Why do you think he did that? And I was, for a period of time, I was guilty about that too, because I didn't understand what was taking place and what was happening. What's happening at its core is you're challenging your child's brain to actually expand and think on a deeper level. And when you become really good at that, you can now turn around and apply that same thing to your everyday life. Now, this is a deeper level conversation, so people really,
No, it's like, why would he make that decision like that? Why would he risk that? Why would they do that? I said, well, maybe the guy's hurt. Maybe this here. Well, it certainly didn't turn out well, and he owns the decision, doesn't he? I said, he sure does. Well, no wonder people want to fire him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just think that's the muscle that if parents are watching this and they're kind of like, well, I'm part of Mark's camp. No, I'm part of Tom's camp. As long as you're part of the critical thinking camp, your kids are going to be fine long term. If you're not having these types of questions you're posing to them, you're going to have your kids that don't know how to think for themselves and make arguments. Present your argument why you believe this is the case.
If I could just add on to that just real quickly, I would just frame this as that I am not against education. I'm 100% pro voracious education. But education is something that you're interested in that helps you solve the problem to take you to the path that you want to go down.
For those of you that run small businesses, this is one thing that
and I'm big about that too. All right. Hey guys, like, subscribe, follow for more content. At the end of the day, if you can teach your kids to do that and practice that on everyday life, then you become better when it comes to dealing with some of the things that we see right now on the political side. When we talk about ICE, when we talk about liberal laws, when we talk about immigration, all these different topics, there is a certain level of critical thinking that needs to be applied. And critical thinkers are a lot of times not the people that's out there rioting in the streets. Okay. That's not them. And if we could teach our kids to be critical thinkers and actually question some of the things that they encounter in school and dealing with their peers, I believe that's when we can start to rebuild the culture, and we can rebuild everything from a foundational standpoint. We can now not assume that we know this conversation when it comes to God and in church. And when we go to certain churches and when we expose ourselves in our spiritual walk, we can now question when people say, like, the religious cliches, like I'm a sinner saved by grace. We can say, okay, let's critically think about that. How do you be both of those things at the same time? Explain to me how that works spiritually, and please have some support in scripture for it. That's the critical thinking. Hey guys, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me for these last 2 hours. You guys be blessed.